Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Nortal.
All right, so get this. Today we are going deep on
Nortal.
Nortal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this company promising seamlessly delivered futures.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but that sounds like kinda straight out of the Jetsons. Like pushing buttons and dinner appears.
Yeah.
But they're all about,
Right.
making a meaningful impact and
Yes.
helping everyone.
Mm-hmm.
From governments to like the biggest companies navigate this crazy world.
Yeah.
So what are they doing that's so different?
Well.
That's what we're going to figure out.
Yeah, so I think they're really focusing on this problem that a lot of companies and even governments have,
Yeah.
where their traditional approaches,
Mm-hmm.
especially with technology,
Right.
just fail.
They fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just flop. They're not adaptable.
Yeah.
They don't think outside the box.
They need to move fast.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so how are they doing things differently? What's the secret sauce? So they talk about this seamless experience methodology.
Okay.
And, it's interesting because on the one hand,
Yeah.
some of it, it's not like brand new ideas.
Yeah.
Like they're using agile and user-centered design.
Right. We've heard that before.
But they're really focused on this idea of
Yeah.
not just making it functional, but intelligent
Okay.
and resilient and making sure that it can adapt to change as well.
So it's not just building like a cool app. It's got to be an app that can like roll with the punches
Yes.
and make people's lives better.
Exactly. And what's amazing to me is that they're doing this across a huge range of industries.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like
Everything.
everything, yeah.
Governments, healthcare, finance, consumer goods.
Yep.
It makes you wonder if they can be experts in everything.
Right.
Because it's one thing to be a specialist, but it's another to like know everything about everything. Does that even work?
It's a good question. And, I think one of their big claims to fame is their role in Estonia's transformation.
Estonia, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
And they say they were responsible for 40% of it.
40%.
Which is huge.
Wow.
Like, Estonia is now, like, the poster child.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
For, digital governance.
Okay, so they've got online voting, digital signatures, everything streamlined.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can pay your taxes in your pajamas.
I think so.
But is that a unique situation?
Oh.
Can that be copied everywhere?
That's the question.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because they've got this great case study.
Right.
But the context is everything.
Okay.
They had a really unique situation in Estonia.
Okay.
Small country, tech savvy.
Uh-huh.
The government really wanted to do this.
Right.
And there was a lot of collaboration between the government and private sectors.
So it's not like a recipe you can just use everywhere?
No, there were special ingredients there.
Okay, so digital government.
Sounds amazing, utopia,
Yeah.
but maybe not so easy to get there.
No, I mean, think about all the challenges.
Okay.
Data privacy.
Right.
Making sure everyone has access.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then is it secure and reliable?
Right. And do people even trust the system?
Totally.
Yeah.
You've got to have trust.
Okay, so Norbal's got this vision
Mm-hmm.
of seamlessness,
Mm-hmm.
but it sounds like the public sector is a lot more complicated than we think.
Definitely, yeah. You can't just flip a switch and everything's digital.
Okay, well, let's shift gears.
Okay.
Let's talk about the private sector.
Okay.
Because they brag about working with a bunch of Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
And one project that really stood out to me was this digital identity verification system
Yeah.
for smart ports.
Smart ports.
What is that?
It's pretty cool. So
Sounds futuristic.
it is. It's part of this trend of automation
Yeah.
and data-driven solutions
Mm-hmm.
that are transforming like global trade.
And so smart ports are using all this new technology to streamline everything from like tracking cargo to managing security and logistics.
Okay.
And so this digital identity verification system is probably ensuring that, only authorized people and goods can get in.
Oh.
So safety and efficiency.
It's like a high-tech bouncer for the shipping world.
Yeah. Exactly. But it also raises questions about security and privacy.
Right.
Like, how much are we willing to share?
Right.
Just to make things run smoothly.
Yeah, and who's got access to all that data?
Exactly.
Okay, so Nortal and their clients
Yeah.
really need to think this through carefully.
For sure.
Yeah, it's easy to get excited
Totally.
about cool new tech,
Yep.
But we can't forget about the downsides.
Exactly. Got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, seamlessness can't come at the cost of privacy
Right.
or security.
Definitely a delicate balance.
All right, so let's dig a little deeper into Nortal's approach here.
Right.
Problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
They talk a lot about pace-layered solutions,
Yeah.
especially with businesses in the energy and resources sector.
Right.
What does that even mean?
Well, it's kind of a jargony term, but I think it's actually a pretty cool concept.
Okay.
So they're saying that different parts of a business evolve at different speeds.
Okay.
So like you've got your core systems, which need to be super reliable and stable.
Mm-hmm. Like the foundation of a building.
Exactly. Yeah, the foundation, you don't want to mess with that.
Right.
And then you have other areas where you need to be more agile and experimental. Like maybe you're building a rooftop garden.
Okay.
You might change your mind about what you want to plant there.
Right. So are they saying most companies try to build the whole building at the same speed?
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't work?
Exactly.
Okay.
And so they're saying you need to match the technology solution to the speed of change in that area.
Okay.
So for the core stuff, you
Okay.
need a really strong, stable backbone.
Right.
But for other areas, you need to be able to be more flexible and innovative.
So it's not just about solving a problem today.
Uh-huh.
It's about building something that can evolve.
Yes, exactly, as the business changes.
Okay. But how does that give them an advantage?
So they're claiming this pace layering
Yeah.
lets companies future-proof their solutions.
Future-proof. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like they're building a house
Mm-hmm.
that can withstand a storm
Okay.
and can be expanded, remodeled.
As your needs change.
Exactly.
Okay, so they build the house, but do they teach you how to use all the fancy new appliances?
That's a great point.
Because what good is a seamless system
Yeah.
if nobody knows how to use it?
Yeah, and that's a really key part of their approach.
Okay.
They're not just about delivering the tech.
Right.
They're also about building up the people. So it's training, it's knowledge transfer.
So they're not just dropping off a box of software and saying, good luck.
Nope.
Okay.
It's about empowering the people.
So it's almost like they're like a tech consultant and a coach.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
It's about making a real impact.
Okay, so we've got a pretty good grasp of Nortal
Yeah.
trying to make things seamless for governments and businesses.
Mm-hmm.
What stands out to you as the most important takeaway?
You know, I think what's really interesting is how much they talk about the human element.
Yeah.
It's not just about the tech.
Right.
It's about people.
Okay.
And it's about creating experiences that are human-centric.
Human-centric, right?
And intelligent and valuable.
Yeah.
It's about empowering people and fostering innovation.
So it sounds like they're trying to walk this tightrope between
Yeah.
cutting-edge tech and human-centered design.
Mm-hmm.
Can you really have both?
That's a good question.
I guess that's something we'll have to explore further.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it is a good question.
I mean, we've got all this amazing technology, but it's a whole other thing to actually use it
Right.
effectively and ethically. So what good is a seamless experience if it just leaves us feeling, I don't know, powerless or disconnected?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. And as we sort of dig deeper into this vision of Nortals, I think we need to consider, like, what skills and mindsets are going to be essential
Okay, give it to me.
for navigating the seamless future they're building.
What do we need?
All right, so I think first and foremost,
Right.
adaptability
Okay.
is going to be crucial.
Right, because tech's always changing.
Exactly.
Like the pace of change is only accelerating. So the ability to like learn new skills, embrace new tools,
Yep.
adjust to shifting landscapes, we're going to need that.
Just like constant learning.
Yeah, so it's not about mastering one specific technology.
Right.
It's about being a lifelong learner.
Totally.
Okay, so adaptability,
Yeah.
check. What else?
And I think along with adaptability, we need critical thinking
Oh, wow.
and problem-solving skills.
So not just blindly trusting the algorithm.
Exactly. You got to understand how it works and be able to question.
Able to question it.
Because even the most seamless systems
Yeah.
are going to have glitches and unintended consequences.
Okay, so we got to be thinking critically.
Yeah.
We got to be adaptable. Anything else?
And then, you know, even in this world of intelligent machines and automation, those soft skills.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Even in this seamless future where the robots are doing all the work.
You're going to need those soft skills.
Okay.
So collaboration, communication, empathy,
Okay, I'm writing this down.
those are going to be increasingly important.
Okay, break it down for me.
So, you know, as we navigate this world of emerging tech,
Yeah.
being able to work in teams, communicate, understand other people's perspectives.
Okay.
Those things are going to be essential.
All right, so adaptability, critical thinking, and those all-important soft skills.
Yeah.
What else should we be packing in our seamless future survival kit?
Okay, so I think creativity and innovation
Mm-hmm.
are going to be key differentiators.
Okay.
Because as technology automates more routine tasks,
Yeah.
that ability to think outside the box, come up with new solutions, those are going to be the things that are really valuable.
So it's not just about being a user of technology.
Right.
It's about being a creator, an innovator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think, Nortal's work across all these different industries
Right. That was kind of mind-blowing.
highlights how important it is to understand different contexts.
Yeah.
So being able to see the bigger picture,
Right.
connect the dots,
Yeah.
and think systemically.
Think systemically.
That's going to be crucial.
So it's not just about technical expertise.
Yeah,
It's about understanding how technology impacts society.
totally. The economy, the environment.
Right. It's like being a responsible innovator.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got to be adaptable, think critically, have those soft skills,
Yeah.
be creative, innovative, and understand how things connect.
And that brings us back to those ethical considerations we talked about.
Right. Because it's not enough to just build seamless systems.
No.
You got to build them with a conscience.
Exactly. We got to make sure that technology is used to empower people,
Mhm.
not exploit them.
Okay. But who gets to decide what's ethical?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah. And how do we ensure that these technologies are actually used for good?
I don't think there are any easy answers.
Yeah.
But I think it starts with conversations like this
Sure.
one,
Okay.
open dialogue, collaboration,
Yeah.
and being willing to challenge our assumptions.
So we've got to take ownership of our technological future.
Exactly.
We can't just passively accept whatever gets thrown at us.
Totally.
We all have a role to play.
And I think that's where those critical thinking skills and
Yeah.
ethical awareness come in.
Okay, so we need to be informed,
Hmm.
engaged, and willing to challenge the status quo.
And ask tough questions.
Yeah, hold these companies accountable.
Exactly.
Okay, well, we talk about the skills and mindsets needed for this seamless future that Nortal's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the real world. How is this going to impact our daily lives?
So imagine a world where your needs are anticipated and met, before you even realize you have them.
Okay.
Your interactions with technology, with businesses, even with governments are personalized, efficient, effortless.
That sounds amazing, but also a little creepy.
Yeah,
How much of my privacy am I giving up for that convenience?
totally.
And who's in control of all that data?
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important to remember that technology is a tool.
Okay.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right. So the seamless future could be a utopia or a dystopia, depending on how we manage it.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to be having these conversations now.
Yeah, before it's too late.
Right. Before these technologies are just so embedded in our lives that we can't even imagine living without them.
Okay.
We need to be thinking about these ethical implications,
Yeah.
the potential downsides, the long-term impact on society.
So it's not just about embracing the latest gadgets.
No.
It's about thinking critically about how technology is shaping our world
Totally.
and demanding a future that's seamless and ethical.
Yeah, we got to have both.
All right. Well, we've covered a lot today.
We have.
Nortal's approach, the skills we need for the seamless future,
Mm-hmm.
the ethical considerations.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned
Okay.
about Nortal's experience in Estonia.
Uh-huh.
Why is that so unique?
So I think there are a few key factors.
Okay, let's break them down.
So first, they had a relatively small population
Okay.
and a very tech-savvy population,
Right.
which made it easier to implement these new systems and get people on board.
Okay.
They also had this strong political will
Yeah.
to embrace digital.
So the government was really behind it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then they also had this history of collaboration
Yeah.
between the government and the private sector.
So it sounds like it wasn't just about the tech.
Right.
It was about having the right culture, the right political environment.
It's like an ecosystem
Yeah.
for innovation.
So Nortal wasn't just working in a vacuum.
No, they had this whole system of support.
Okay, so Estonia might have been a perfect storm,
It really was.
but that doesn't mean we can't learn from them.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I think there are valuable insights, even if we can't just copy and paste their model.
Okay, what's the key takeaway?
I think the key takeaway is that digital transformation.
Yeah.
It's not just a technological challenge.
Mhm.
It's a human one.
Okay, so it's about people, it's about processes, it's about culture, not just bits and bytes.
And I think that's something that Nortal really understands.
Okay, so we've explored Nortal's approach, the skills we need for the future, the ethical stuff.
Yep.
What stands out to you as the most interesting thing?
You know, what's really fascinating to me is how
Yeah.
they're challenging the traditional boundaries between industries.
Yeah, they're working with everybody.
Are working with everyone.
Governments, healthcare,
Insurance.
finance, energies,
Mm,
consumer brands. It's like it's all connected.
exactly. And I think that cross-industry
Yeah.
pollination of ideas
Mm-hmm.
is so valuable because
Yeah.
it allows them to bring new perspectives
Right.
and new solutions to problems that have maybe existed for a long time.
So it's not about being a specialist.
No.
It's about being able to see the big picture,
Yes,
connect the dots.
exactly.
And that's a skill that's going to be so important as we move forward.
I think so.
Okay, well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to cover
Yeah.
on Nortal and their vision for
Right.
a seamless future. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. We've been talking about, this seamless future that Nortal's trying to build,
Right.
where tech anticipates our needs and streamlines everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I keep coming back to is like, if everything gets so seamless, so frictionless,
Yeah.
what does that mean for us as humans?
That's a great question. And, it makes you think about, what does it even mean to be human
Right.
in a world that's so shaped by technology?
Yeah. Do we just become passive passengers?
Right. Are we just letting algorithms run our lives?
Yeah. Is that what we want?
Or can we use these technologies to empower ourselves?
Right. To create a future that's both seamless and fulfilling.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah. And how do we even do that?
Right. I think it starts with being mindful about how we design and use these technologies.
Okay.
We got to ask tough questions about data privacy,
Mm-hmm.
algorithmic bias, the unintended consequences.
So it's not just about making things seamless. It's got to be seamless for the right reasons.
Right. It's got to benefit everyone, not just a few.
And we have to stay in control.
Yeah. Even as technology gets more and more integrated into our lives.
This is a big shift, right?
It is.
Not just for the tech companies,
Yeah.
but for all of us.
We can't just be passive consumers of tech anymore.
Okay, so what do we do?
We have to be active, demanding transparency, accountability, making sure these companies are considering the ethical implications.
So these conversations, they can't just happen in Silicon Valley.
Right. They need to be happening everywhere.
In our communities, our workplaces, even our homes.
Yeah, because the future of tech isn't something that's just happening to us.
Right, we're all creating it together.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so important to be informed, engaged, and willing to challenge the status quo.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into Nortal and their vision for a seamless future.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And until next time, keep those brains buzzing.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.